I made an important discovery this morning. I've certainly never read about this, but I posted a month or two ago about I had planted here in this terrace cucumbers, and then on the upper terrace there melons. And I showed a video of how the vines had covered my aloe vera plants. In the middle of April, I planted the perimeter of this bed in aloe vera plants. They certainly weren't mature. As an example, they were about the size of this one right here in the bag. So we planted these all the way around the edge, all the way around the perimeter of this bed, and then all the way around the perimeter of that bed up there. Then June 4th, we planted cucumbers here and melons up above. And it took about 6 weeks for the vines to get spread out. It took about 10 weeks for it to actually have fruit, cucumbers and melons that we could harvest. But what happened once the vines started growing, they latched onto the aloe vera plants and wrapped their little tentacles around the leaves. We've cleared them away this morning, but until this morning, you could not see this aloe vera plant because it was covered in the vines that you see out there, just covered. It looked like a little mountain of vines, and it had tentacles wrapped around the leaves. And what it was doing, apparently, aloe vera is a root stimulator, the gel, and the vines latched onto it and were acting sort of like a vampire and sucking nutrition out of the leaves. Well, the benefit to that was I produced a lot of cucumbers. I have a lot of vines here. Now, the season's about over. I'm going to say we'll be picking cucumbers for maybe 3 more weeks. So since it's about over, I went ahead and pulled them back away. But all this time I've been a little frightened to look at my plants because I knew that they were covered in the cucumber and melon vines, and I wondered if it was sucking the nutrition out of these, if I would even have any aloe vera plants left at the end of the season. Well, here's my discovery. And I'm pretty shocked. Now remember, in mid-April, they looked like this small one in the bag. And you can see the difference. Apparently, and I'm not a scientist or an agronomist, this is just my observation. Apparently what happened, once the vines latched onto the aloe vera leaves, the plant itself must have realized that it had a parasite attacking it. And so there's not really any way to explain it except it just kicked into hyperdrive. And you can see the astonishing growth of this plant versus what I started with in April. It's more than twice as big, maybe in volume-wise 3 times as big. The leaves are huge and long. I'm going to think that this is maybe 60 or 70 centimeters tall. Here's another one right here. You can see. Here's another one back in there behind the flowers. There's another one. I mean, it's like my aloe vera has been on steroids for 3 months. This is really remarkable growth. And I raised a lot of aloe vera, so I know how fast it's supposed to grow. Now, on the other hand, here's one that just had a couple of vines on it, not many at all. But you can still see it's put on all sorts of growth down here at the bottom. We call these pups. Now we'll pull these up out of the ground and we'll start new aloe vera off of them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here, we reach down here. Let me find one that I know I can get right here. Just grab hold of it if the ground's really muddy. And see, you pull up the leaves, and now then this will be a new plant. We'll put this in a bag, start a new plant. In 6 or 7 months, this one will look, well, it might not be this big, but this one will grow up and be mature.